You know it is Sunday because we are back for another evening of the Man Event Live Show. I am beloved. With me is the Chief, Pooh Bear, and Maddie Ho. Listen, we have an amazing show lined up. We are going full spectrum today. We've got everything from baseball and sports. Somebody got a new TV on this show. Things are blowing up in Beirut, and hey, there might be a stimulus on your way. This is the Man Event.
Bring it. Wait a minute, whose birthday is it?
I couldn't get it to blow up.
That's what she said.
TWSS.
Yeah. Technically, mine says Happy New Year, but I say it's a New Year for her birthday. So,
Well, hey, Pooh, let me see your hat.
It says happy birthday. So my daughter made this for you. for me to wear for you. I'm having a hard time with that. So it says Happy B-Day, Matt. But if you see that there's a T here, and that T looks so out of place.
Had to add one extra.
I said, honey, he doesn't lay down by the door.
That is awesome.
Different kind of Matt.
Yes, you don't wipe your feet on me.
Well, listen, happy birthday.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
happy
thank
birthday,
you,
brother.
man. You caught me totally by surprise here.
That was the goal.
Well,
Man, I didn't think I was ever going to get that confetti cannon. I was like,
I was afraid he was going to blow it on the pre-show with talking about his present that he got, and I was like, it's like, oh man, don't bring up your birthday, man. We're just going to ignore it.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't bring it up.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
I know better.
Pooh Bear, you're right, though. That made quite a mess.
What everybody can't see, though, is what I sent you guys that picture a little while ago, that awesome cowboy steak I had, which was just fantastic. I might actually get the picture. Oh, it was. Dawn got it for me, and it was fantastic.
Well, listen, I can't believe we just had a celebration, and the Chief didn't have any sound effects.
I had the horn. I had that. I had the horn. I mean, I could have got like a happy birthday song, but I figured I had this horn going instead. It was better.
It's good
He's
choice.
the king of sound effects.
Oh, well,
That's pretty good.
Well,
That's a good horn.
Listen, Maddie, that tomahawk steak does look delicious.
Oh man,
Prepared and cooked on a 4th place grill.
there is a. Let me tell you, if you were here, you would have ate it anyway.
Oh, I ate the one you made on the 4th place grill.
And I'm going to warn you guys now. There's a good chance I fall asleep in the middle of the show. I ate almost.
Well, man, if you fall asleep in the middle of the show, we have pretty big problems here at the Man Event.
You made
Well,
that whole thing by yourself?
Yeah, well, Don had a little bit, but for the most part, I put that bad boy away.
Nice. Well
And
done.
So I'm like a lion. Lion eats and they take a nap for a day or two.
That's the best way to bring in 38 right there.
Yeah,
Well,
38.
listen, where's the bone? If it was a tomahawk, like this is a man's show, you should be,
Oh, I did. Oh, I did. I just
you should be
showed you.
gnawing on that thing right here.
You should have seen me at the kitchen. No joke. I wonder if I still have a stain. I had the juices running down my arm and everything. I was
Oh,
making
my
a mess of
goodness.
it.
Wow,
Oh,
man,
yeah. That was good.
wow, that
That's the
sounds
way to do it.
absolutely, man. Well, we hope you've had a good birthday and a
Oh, it was great.
good birthday weekend.
And this is a great way to cap it off, with the
Top it
show
off
and
right here.
with the Rays winning today, and it's all been a good day.
Yeah.
I feel with Matt's birthday, I'm entitled to some cake. I wonder if I can get someone to. Hey, Lisa,
I think you're entitled to cake too.
got some cake. I'm out, man. New diet starts tomorrow. I got my scale in. Oh, Lisa showed up at the door.
Ask her if she's got cake. You got cake?
What's impressive is they really have cake.
So two things that just made me thought of just in this chat here is for one, if you caught our short on is baseball better in like fans in a stadium versus at your house, then you saw the Chiefs' appreciation for cake.
Yes.
If you really good what he was going to eat and what he wasn't going to.
If you watched till the end, you saw the Chiefs' appreciation for cake. You see my strategy here.
Exactly. Not just appreciation, but strategy. The man has a plan when it comes to eating cake.
I got a plan for everything. There's nothing I do without a plan.
Well, listen, I will say that, like,
on experience, you know.
I was going to say, I will say that when I need something done, you know, like a repair done, or you know, if you need, you know, some work done around your house or whatever, the first person you call is the chief, because he's already talked to about a dozen people and decided which one was best to hire for the job. You don't have to do any work. You just call him, and if he tells you to call that guy, you call that guy.
It's called Cliffy's List,
and the work here is done. You know,
I look at that.
I was saying that's not a bad idea, because there's also the Cliff List.
That's a different list. You don't want to be on the Cliff list.
You don't want to be on. You don't want to be on the Cliff list.
Are we allowed to talk about that one here?
We can talk about the Cliff list.
We have breaking news.
Keep plans for cake.
Oh man!
Let me ask you this: on your birthdays, what's your favorite cake?
I'm fairly simple. I'm vanilla with. I like the Publix. It's the only brand I go with.
Okay.
Publix with the whipped cream icing, vanilla. Sometimes little fillings, but as long as I get the whipped cream icing on a vanilla cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the same as the buttercream frosting?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay. See, I'm a buttercream frosting.
Okay.
But I'm with Pooh Bear. I just want a white vanilla cake.
Yeah, I don't need marble. I don't need the chocolate. I don't want fudge.
See, mine is carrot cake. I'm a real fan of carrot cake, but nobody said fudgy
because
the
it has
whale.
vegetables in it.
What? Thought makes me eat carrot cake.
Of course, you would come with the vegetables.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Not one bit.
No,
carrot cake is really good, man.
I do like carrot cake, but it doesn't surprise me that in your house, that's the only cake you're allowed to have, probably.
It's good.
Probably equally as unsurprising as my cake, which is a triple chocolate cake with peanut butter icing on it.
That's not surprising either.
Which may or may not be served with vanilla ice cream.
I'm gonna go with so Matty Ho has a birthday, and Chief got the presents.
I did have Christmas in August at my house this week.
And his birthday is called Cliffmas.
Yeah,
because it's on the 25th. Not of December, but.
Well, did you hear what happened at my house on what was it, Wednesday?
No,
I think it was on Wednesday. So Wednesday, I worked on Tuesday. I worked on Tuesday, so I came home Wednesday morning and I turned the TV on. And about 30 seconds later, it just dies. And I said, that's unusual. I turned the TV back on. And I'm thinking maybe the remote kind of looked at it or something. And so I turned the remote away and it's on for about a minute, clicks off again. I said, oh my, we might be onto something here. Hold the phone here. So I turn it on again. I hide the remote. Everything's away. I even changed the channel, and it dies for the third time. I'm like, Lisa, I got good news. Good news. The TV's dead. TV is dead.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
Oh my gosh, dude! I can't go. I go to Sam's every week, and every time I walk into Sam's, there it is. 85 inches of Samsung glory just waiting for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be it. So
did you get it?
Well, let me tell you, I ran into had a tither. I did not buy a Vizio. I had a tither though. I got there so here's the deal. I get there and they're having a sale on TVs. The 85 is not the 85 is not included. The 85 is not included. The 82 is included. The 82 was $500 less than the 85.
You're telling me you wouldn't add 3 inches for $500? 3 inches for $500. You didn't think about it that way, did you?
No.
That's a lot.
So I got the 82. I got the 82.
I get emails about that all the time. So
yeah,
that's actually a bargain. $500.
$500 off.
I get emails about that all the time.
Yeah.
That took me a minute.
yeah.
Wow, that is hilarious. So you got the 82.
I did get the 82. Yeah. So
Is it an HD?
hey,
She is dead on too.
she has a 100-inch TV in her basement. I mean, I'm not really sure if she's got a lot of room to talk. So
Yeah, that's called first world problems if I ever heard.
that
of
is
it.
the first world problem, you know it.
From the busted boats, the busted TV. I mean, whatever.
So
Corvette's
the boat's busted again today. Hey, my anniversary's tomorrow. We didn't want to have it on Matt's day, so we had it's tomorrow.
Thank you, appreciate
But,
that.
yeah, so we were gonna go out and well, first of all, Lisa and I were gonna go out to this little sandbar in the bay, and when the kids heard they were going there, oh, we want to go too, and I'm like, nuts, you know. All right, I guess they are part of the deal. So anyway, so we get up early, we get the boat, we're ready to go. 9:00 in the morning. I have to wait till 9 to turn the boat on because of the HOA. They got rules. So I didn't. I wanted to fire it up before we left. Turn it on. Now I just spent, as you know, from 2 weeks ago on the main event show. I had to go to yes, I got taken. At the Alabama. I had to pay the outsider price. Or the what do you call the
deliverance fee?
Now the away guy. I was the out of towner. That's what it was. I paid the out of towner rate.
That's right. Yeah.
So anyway, that was on the starter. So it did start. It just didn't stay running. It throttled out, and after about 30 seconds or so. After about 10 tries to get it going, just declared it. I did get in the engine, looked around and made sure that all the thingamajigs looked like they were in the right spot. That was about then I had to declare. I said, well, we don't want to go out there and get stuck. That was my go-to line. I said, we don't want to go out there and get stuck. So anyway,
that'd be ideal.
Maybe it's just that.
So you just went back inside and watched a movie on your new 82-inch TV. So it still made it
pretty much. Yeah, we wound up watching the Rays win today. That was pretty exciting.
I was about to ask you. So how do the Rays look on 82 inches of Samsung Glory?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, it actually is pretty fun to watch because with this thing it's nice, man. Like if I was watching you right now on 82 inches, I could see like every hair in your beard and tell you that if it's been properly. You groom it, whatever they do to it. Yeah,
it's got a little bit of gray in it. It's got a little bit of gray.
Are you using the essential oils and everything else like you're supposed to do? All the hipsters use?
No, I'm not into that. I just use like a special shampoo and conditioner for beards.
Oh, you're manscaping?
Right.
Yeah, So should I dye it?
No, man. It's
keep it natural.
Wow.
Yeah,
keep it natural. Okay.
Leave it alone. Yeah. Just keep it though.
So the Rays, not a bad weekend.
Great.
3 out of 4.
They're
from the first place Yankees. Yeah,
I'll be honest. They're a little hard to watch right now, though.
Well, it was Jekyll and Hyde there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not exciting. You get runners on base and no outs. You're like, yes, here comes some runs. Here we go. Get ready. Nothing. Double play, fly out, strike out. What is going on? Who can hit on this team? Then I started counting all the hitters over 200, and it was half the team was under. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a short list.
You had two guys. You had two guys in the lineup today that were hitting less than 100.
Yeah. Yep.
And one that can't catch a ball, by the way.
Yeah, did you see that?
Dude, he's got so many errors in the outfield. He's got these errors. I said, come on, man. If you're not there for your bat, be there for your glove. If you're not there for your glove, time to go sell some drinks.
Well, I think if you can't play offense and you can't play defense, and basically, you got a problem here.
Well,
there's no special teams in baseball,
right?
You
basically
talking about Manuel Margot, right?
Yeah.
Is it Margot or Margot?
It's Margot.
Like,
I don't know.
Is he French
Margot.
or something? Is this like the guy from Ricky Bobby?
I'm not sure.
It's just like Margot Robbie.
I think she has an X in her name.
No.
Yeah, anyway, regardless, he did just return back from the bereavement leave. His father passed away, so he's just returning back. So I don't know.
I feel bad.
Hey,
I don't know if this was a long drawn out thing and he's been dealing with his father's illness for an extended period of time, or if it was all of a sudden, whatever. you know, I'm going to cut the guy some slack because he's dealing with obviously a serious family issue. But you know, the fact is, you got to tell the coach, hey, listen, I'm not ready. My head's not in it. You've got a freaking platinum glover behind you, and Kevin Kiermaier. If you're not in it, you need to let Skip know so he can come in and play. You don't cost your team like that because you're mentally absent.
Well, condolences to him and his family. But it made me think of, do you guys remember the Brett Favre Monday Night Football game when his father passed?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Dude, that cat came to play.
He came to play. Yeah, that was one of the all-time great performances by a quarterback.
It's interesting to see people
how they react
to see things like that, because we saw here in Tampa back in 2001, I believe it was, when the kicker, his name's escaping me right now.
We've had so many of them.
Matt Bryant.
His son was born premature and then passed away. Man. I think it was either the same day or the next day, and the guy goes out there and he was just booting them. You know,
I do remember that. Yeah.
He refused to take time off. Like, I think Tony Dungy told him, you need to step back. This is clearly a problem. There's another one. Tony Dungy, when his son tragically committed suicide, I believe. I think he came back and played or coached that very next week. So it's different people handle things different ways, but it's just, you know, when you hear, especially with an athlete who's not performing, and then you find out, hey, he's going through a breakup with his wife, or their child's been in the hospital, or their father or mother passed away. You know, we forget a lot of times sitting on the couch or in the stadium that these people are people. I know I'm not at my best when I've got crap going home at home, and I show up to work. I'm not there to do my best that day. I'm worried about whatever it is over here. Even if I got a plumbing leak or something, or my boat won't start, I'm thinking about that.
I hate it when that happens.
Every time.
It's a real problem.
It's a real problem.
legit problem right there.
But, you know, put him aside. You know, the Rays have been struggling here. You watch their bats have been struggling. And then pitching, what's his name? He left with a shoulder injury, right? Or a hurt shoulder today?
Charlie Morton exited early today with a shoulder inflammation.
You know.
So
and of course, Giancarlo Stanton, he left yesterday with a hamstring issue, right? So apparently baseball is pretty rough on the body.
Okay.
Well, they're all going out on injured reserve.
Oh, the one guy, he broke his jaw too yesterday. Doggone it.
Did he get hit by a pitch?
No, he got hit by his own teammate. They were going, no one calls it, and they collide in the outfield. And next thing you know, one guy's got a broken jaw. They carted him off in a stretcher.
They were throwing guys out of the game yesterday. Well, managers out of the game yesterday too.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see a complete a no-hitter today.
It was getting close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you think about that. Yeah, we end up winning that game when we had one hit through 7 or something like that, right? Yeah.
Well, winning back-to-back home runs, right?
It wasn't just with the Rays. There was the Rockies had a guy going. I think it was the Rockies. Let me check and see here. I was getting the alerts on my phone, so I tuned in.
And then Johnny Cueto yesterday had a no going through 6. And I didn't understand. Now, I haven't seen the play, but it sounded like it was an error. Yeah. And they counted it as a hit. There was an error on the outfielder, but they counted it as a hit, and then he fell apart from there.
Yeah, I think he just dropped it, right? It should have been a routine play.
Yeah.
You talking about the ball that went over the fence? Went over the wall?
No.
I don't think
this is in San Francisco.
Okay.
I apologize. I don't know who the center fielder was. It was a name you would recognize. It looks like Pooh Bear's looking it up, but I think it was Cueto who had a no going through 6, and he gives up a hit, which the way I read it sounded like, because the outfielder even apologized. Like he felt guilty. He blew this guy's no.
Right.
Well, from there, the wheels fell off, and he gave up 4 earned runs in that inning. And that goes back to your point. Like, you never know what's going to rattle a guy.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And some guys are going to, rise up to the occasion, and some are not. It reminds me of we were talking about Brett Favre, but what about the MJ flu game in the NBA Finals?
Or according to The Last Dance,
wake up, Cliff, wake up. Wake
I
up.
know, man. Are we still talking
The Last
baseball? I mean,
Dance?
come on, man.
The food poisoning game. According to The Last Dance, it was a food poisoning game,
Yeah.
not the flu.
Last Dance, wasn't that a movie? I don't know.
I don't know. It was definitely a 10-part documentary series on the
Yes.
Chicago
Yeah.
Bulls.
Did you find it, Pooh Bear?
No, it's going to news from today. But what struck me though is I was looking at the alerts for the potential no today, was with all these double headers going 7 innings, what's going to happen if a player pitches a no in 7 innings?
Asterisk.
I think
don't
so.
know.
Good question, actually. Yeah.
I think so, but it's like
That's not a legit no hitter. Now that you say that, Pooh Bear, I think there's a real chance you could see 1 or 2.
yes, you could
7
Now
inning
that-
no hitters this
it
season.
kind of struck me.
I
today.
think the guy who pitched against the Rays today, I don't remember what inning he came out, but he had a 1-hitter going through 6.
Yeah. Well, they pulled Snell on Saturday. Snell pitched Friday or Saturday. Whichever game Snell pitched this weekend, they pulled him after 3, and he had no hits, no runs, no errors. It's
crazy. Well. That was that was Friday night, because we ended up winning that game 1-0.
Right.
So I don't know, to take 3 or 4 from the Yankees, who are obviously leading the AL East. We said at the beginning that AL East was going to be a tough gig. Surprisingly, Baltimore is not the cellar dweller that we thought they would be. They're playing 500
I predicted
baseball.
that. Check my predictions.
Okay. They're playing 500 baseball.
You're right. Same as the Rays, right?
Yeah. But go back to the topic on the 7 inning games. First of all, I forgot during the first game of the doubleheader yesterday that it was a 7 inning game. So we go into the bottom of the 6th and we don't we do get a run. We get a run back. And to make it closer, I think
the first game or the second game?
The first game.
Okay.
I think it's a 3-run game or 2 or 3-run game at that point. And then I realize, because the commentator told me, that the game was over in 1 more inning. And I thought to myself,
what?
Where was the strat? Like your strat, normally you start seeing a manager using some bench players in the 7th inning or the 8th inning of a 9-inning game. Where was the game play or the strategy in inning 5 or 6?
Yeah, I think his strategy in that game was to save. I think he had pretty much decided that game was a lost cause or was close to it, and he was saving his pitchers for the second game because that was a bullpen game.
Yeah, big time bullpen game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's one strategy. I mean, what did you? I know nobody was happy with the outcome of the first one, but what were your feelings after? Like, this is the first one we experienced. Just like a couple of weeks ago was the first extra inning game we experienced.
Right.
This was the first 7-inning game we experienced. What were your thoughts?
I personally liked it because I was out shopping with my wife during the first game, so I didn't get to watch that game. But I was able to watch the second game during dinner. As soon as it was over, the Lightning come on with their round robin game. I was like, this is one of the best days ever.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you had to go shopping at.
Did you buy a TV?
No, we bought furniture, so yeah, it wasn't that great. And then the Lightning lost, so whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I like the 7 innings. I mean, because it shortens up the game. Sometimes these games just get too long and too drawn out, especially when they start going into the bullpen again and again and again.
Yeah.
So a couple of these rules are really pretty neat because it helps keep the fans engaged a little more, keeps the game moving a little more. But when you compare it, like we were talking earlier about what if you get a no-hitter in a 7-inning game? So when you compare it to the game as a whole in 9 innings, now you're not. I don't know how to say it, but I like it because it's shorter, but I don't like it because it's not like it's real baseball.
Correct. It feels like a facsimile, but the whole season will. This whole season's not going to feel authentic. So
I understand the necessity for the 7-inning games, but I'm not really a huge fan of it. I am a huge fan of the extra inning rule. I actually really do like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. It makes it a little fun. It makes it fun and exciting.
I don't know if the necessity of the 7 innings really resonates with me, though. Like you said, you understand it. I don't think I really fully understand it.
Well, they just don't, like we said. I think we said it last week. They don't have a minor league team or a system to go pull from to bring these guys up. And, if they're going to use their entire bullpen on a doubleheader, they've got nobody for tomorrow.
Right, but they have this alternate site. So we saw today when Charlie Morton went out with his shoulder inflammation, they brought in some cat I've never heard of from the alternate site.
What is going on with that alternate site? Are they playing or are they just kind of hanging out? Where is that
at? I think it's in Port Charlotte. I think they're just hanging out there working out.
They're doing like little scrimmages with each other and,
batting practice, fielding practice. They're just staying fresh.
Right.
Would be my guess. But here's
ping pong?
Ping pong and cornhole.
So I think one of the disadvantages that the Rays have, and I don't know how many more doubleheaders they have. Now, this weekend wasn't supposed to be a doubleheader for them. It got moved to a doubleheader because of some of the postponements that the Yankees went through with some of the teams that were out for COVID.
Right.
Originally, we were supposed to play Thursday night, and it would have been a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. So they canceled the Thursday game, moved it to the Saturday afternoon. Right. But a 7-inning game doesn't actually play well for the Rays because most of our hitting happens innings 7 through 9. And so for us, so far, at least what we've shown this season and a good portion of last season, we tend to win games in the later third of the game.
That was what happened today.
Because we start to get to the bullpen of the other teams, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, you saw that even in the playoffs last year, we didn't start scoring runs until later in the games. And one of the reasons that the Astros were able to beat us in that first series was they had great starting pitching. Those guys were going deep every game. And they cheated.
They cheated. There you go.
And they cheated.
And they had a few extra signs going on, That always helps. Well, I mean, that's what happened today with the Rays, right? They didn't score till the 7th inning, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah, the 7th inning.
Yeah.
So there's an entire series about to be canceled between the Cardinals and the Pirates this coming week.
And what about the Reds? Didn't the Reds get canceled too?
The Reds and the Cardinals had some postponements. I don't know if it was the entire series or not, to be honest. But this is definitely the Cardinals. Apparently, they haven't had a legitimate investigation yet. But apparently, a lot of these guys went to a casino. I'm guessing somewhere in Missouri, and
dude, I feel like they should play the alternative team should come in and play if the main team gets taken out, they're sequestered or quarantined, then the alternative team should come in. I mean, it's full on replacements, dude. I'm telling you, it would be.
If that's true, how irresponsible are those guys?
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you already know the situation. It's a shortened season, all that. You lost even more time with negotiating with the union and between union and baseball and all that. And then you go ahead and do something dumb like that to jeopardize the possibility of even playing the games you've already agreed to.
Yep.
They're getting paid for this stuff. This isn't not like this is just a side gig.
Right. So, yeah, it just it's disappointing basically to hear that. And I don't think any of the players are any real danger of, serious illness. It's just the fact that they were tested positive. And the fact is they went out, or not the fact, but the story is that they went out to a very germy place like a casino. I mean, between a Chuck E. Cheese, a cruise ship, and a casino, I mean, that's you can't get any.
Man, Chuck E. Cheese has got to be the most disgusting place I've ever stepped foot in.
The ball pen, the ball pit. That's what it's called, the pit. Yeah. There's not a urine-free ball in that place.
No, man. You want your kid to catch something, you take them there.
And the pizza's not good either. So.
Actually, I would argue you also take them when they're toddlers to the church nursery.
Build their immune system.
Yes.
Yeah. Because parents will take their kids there when they're sick just because they want an afternoon off.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, they will.
Yes.
It's a mental health day. Yeah.
Hey, I don't have to watch my kids for the next few hours.
Hey, when Kristen was an infant, Lisa would go to work and I would have her, during the day on the days that I wasn't working. I was in the best shape of my life. Why, you ask? Because the gym had a babysitting, option, and I could keep her there for 2 hours. 2 hours max. I was there religiously every day for 2 hours. She was in that gym, and then on the way home, I had it down to a science. The way home, she'd be in her car seat in the back, and I'm driving kind of like sideways, because I'm shaking her. She's trying to fall asleep. I'm like, no way, kid. Not till we go home. Not till we get home, and you get a bottle in you. You're gonna eat, fill up that belly, then I will put you down. We can both take a nap at that point.
And then you can take a nap.
Yeah, oh man. we had this basset hound. His name was Sarge. He was actually really cool. Sarge I would put Kristen down in her crib, leave the door open to her room, and then the family room was right outside, her nursery. And I would take a nap on the couch, and Sarge would get up and he would lay down in the doorway of her bedroom and face out. He goes, all right, buddy. He goes, go ahead. I got this for a little while. You go right ahead.
I'm on watch.
It was really cool. So
Cliff's Book of Parenting.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you guys can use that one. That's the gym, nursery, keep her up, take a nap. There you go.
I'm kind of done with that stage of my life.
You think you're done. You thought you were done last time too.
I'm done.
It's waiting for grandkids.
Well, I don't know. How did we get down that road? Pooh Bear, you were about to say something.
I was just going to say, going back to the ball pits, I'm of a certain size, as you guys probably know, and a certain age to where ball pits really weren't a thing when I was of size and of age to do a ball pit. So several years ago, it was during Christmas time, the Emily Arena converted to this giant Winterland ball pit for like adults.
Yes.
And they had they were claiming that these, it was crazy. They were claiming that these balls they had were germ free. They had some sort of coating on them. They weren't able to. I'm like, whatever.
Flip says no.
We took the kids. I gave them the 20. I'm like, I need to do it. I've never done it. There's no place for me to do it large enough, but this is. So I'm going in, and it was miserable. That was the worst.
And we could fill your swimming pool up with those things.
I make a great.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Mr. Beast already did it, but we could do it again.
I saw a guy fill his pool up.
Mr. Beast did it.
I saw a guy did. He did it. He made his whole pool into Jello.
Yep, that's Mark Roper.
No. Is that who it was? It was like a feat to do because it doesn't. When you make Jello to scale, it doesn't quite work the same. Yeah. So we had to do all these things to it, and then they had the kids and the neighbors came over, and everybody was jumping into it. It was really weird. But I don't know.
I'm in the middle of a pool remodel, and it is the dirtiest thing I've ever. It's like I wonder if it will ever get clean.
So they told you 10 days, right? They said 10 days, and you're 7 days in now. So
yeah, they're supposed to be done on Saturday.
Is it empty right now?
Oh yeah, well it's full of like concrete and dirt and mainly concrete dust. I will say they're doing a pretty decent job of cleaning up the job site after they're done each day, but the dust from the cutting the concrete and the pavers and all of that it's just and it's crazy because I go into the kitchen one day to get something to drink or whatever, and I look out and the dude's running one of those big gas powered concrete saws cutting off the cantilevers and stuff, and it's such a cloud of concrete dust. I can't even see my neighbor's house. The guy turns on the thing. He looks up, not wearing a mask or anything. I'm like, oh, dude.
That's not good for you.
I can't even see across the street, and you're not wearing a mask.
Imagine what's in his lungs.
And that is
those are not, particles that are going to get filtered out by your lungs.
They stay with you forever.
Those are cutting particles. They're going to cut your polyps and stuff.
Man, it's crazy.
OSHA came out with new rules on that a few years ago, but
yeah, I don't. Well, listen, he's also on the job site barefoot, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did the same thing when they were doing mine. He was cutting around the skimmer has the top that comes out. So all of those paver pieces have to be cut in a circular fashion. So each one's got a different pattern to it. He's out there. He's got shoes on, but he's got his foot on each stone with the gas-powered chop saw.
I'm telling you, man.
But his foot is holding it. And I'm like, you've got a lot of confidence, bro. I'm telling you right now, if there's blood on my other pavers,
you'll know where it came from.
We're gonna fight after that. You're gonna be footless, but then you're gonna be jawless too, because I'm gonna beat the crap out of you.
Hey, are you getting any of those fancy tile mosaic like sharks or anything in the bottom of your pool?
No, dude.
Oh, you should have like a big great white mouth open, like coming up at you.
No.
That would be great.
Cool.
Man, they're not. I mean, they're not even done with the pavers yet, and they started on this thing on Monday. And listen, I've never. First of all, I will never. Watching this happen, I will never ever do this myself. right? But you got to remember, like, I have a free form pool. So the coping, he literally has to cut both sides of every single piece of coping.
Yeah.
Because no part of the pool is square.
Mm-hmm.
And that job alone, they've been working on coping for like 3 days, like 2.5 days. Maybe they worked a half a day yesterday.
What about a really cool Man Event logo at the bottom?
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, we can negotiate that in.
Oh, it's not too late, right? There's no water in there. We could
negotiate that in.
Just in time for us to change it.
Yeah, the logo. Yeah, the logo.
Or maybe
we could paint it.
Maybe we could find a way to see if a TV would end up down there.
Oh, how cool would that be?
While it's on.
I mean,
how cool would that be? Oh, so here's one other. This is it for you guys know me well, so you know that like home improvement is not my forte.
You don't.
In fact, I would venture to guess that you guys would rather me call you before I start a project than in the middle of one, because it's easier for you to just do the project than correct what I messed up.
Or just tell you, don't do it. Don't touch that.
For our audience, the two of you are watching, you'll notice they're all agreeing with me. So I have no idea where I was about to go with this.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Congratulations on your new pool, though.
Yeah, I don't have no idea where I was going with that. Anyway.
Full surface.
Pretty good.
What were we talking about?
You were talking about home improvements, and now you weren't going to do them yourself.
The coping,
but that's okay. Your memory's just about as good as Joe Biden's. Boom! Transition.
Yeah. Joe Biden.
Have you seen the video of Robin Williams roasting Joe Biden?
I have not. I thought.
Now wait. You do realize Robin Williams passed away a few years ago, right?
Yes, that's how old this video. That's how bad Joe Biden has been. It's like I don't know, maybe 10 years old or so, and he's doing a stand-up routine. And I don't know why Joe was even in the news then, because there's a lot of senators. Well, I don't know who they are. They don't make a lot of news.
He was the vice president.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, I should have known that. Yeah, and then like his opening line is he goes, Joe Biden is like your crazy uncle that they don't have the meds adjusted correctly yet. And then he just goes off from there. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, that is perfect.
Well, he's been the same for a long time, I guess. We'll see. But of course, you're not electing Joe Biden. You're electing the vice president.
Listen, we were talking about that before we came on. And I think that the vice president in this particular election is probably more important than it has been. I venture to say ever, and I haven't been around forever, but there's a strong chance that neither one of these presidential candidates makes it through another 4-year term.
Oh yeah.
By
the way,
well, no,
because 70s.
Trump is, he'll tell you he's as strong as an ox.
Yeah.
How that guy hasn't had a heart attack or a stroke yet is
he loves his McDonald's, right? Doesn't he? He's a big McDonald's fan.
God, I love McDonald's.
Well, hey, don't hate on McDonald's, bro. I don't understand.
I'm not. Man. That's what I'm saying.
McDouble is delicious.
If you can eat McDonald's,
now I'm thinking about a McDouble.
See, or a Big Mac or whatever. But if you can eat that stuff and you become president, and he's alive and kicking, and maybe it's not so bad. Maybe all these doctors are just filling us with.
I think he gets some presidential medicine. I don't know what that is, but
I think Pooh Bear is watching the roast right now.
You know what it could be? Do you remember? Well, obviously you guys know because one of you guys circled it on. I think it's on our Facebook page. But Bernie, remember Bernie from the movie?
Yes.
Oh, Weekend at Bernie's.
Right, and he's in the stands, right? Well, maybe that's what's going on with Trump right now. Maybe they're just propping him up because he's had too much McDonald's, and he's really just a Bernie.
That would be more applicable to Biden than it would be to Trump. Trump, he's out there moving around pretty well, but you're right. There's no way either one of these guys for a full year term. Just who knows? Who knows? Like you said, magical medicine.
So this week, I guess there was a news report. There's a news report this weekend or whatever that he picked a running mate, and then they came back and said, "Oh no, we were just joking."
Right.
We don't have. I wonder, is that true, or does Joe Biden actually know if he's picked a running mate yet or not?
They haven't informed him of who he picked yet.
Well, they did every day for the past week.
So I just want to say, like about a month ago, I picked that he was gonna be down to Kamala Harris or Susan Rice, and that's exactly who he's down to now.
Well, no, there was a report that there was someone else there at the compound today, a brunette-looking lady. I don't know her name. I don't even know.
Hillary?
It was Nancy Pelosi.
If Hillary walks out, then he's in Secret Service and make sure he's still alive.
That's funny, but they have to inform him of who he's picking.
Yo, that's the thing. If you think he's picking this, you're out of control. You're out of your mind, man.
No.
So,
listen, I going back to that. Here's the thing. We're picking on Joe Biden, but neither one of these clowns is a good choice.
No, it's terrible.
Okay. So this is like the first presidential election, maybe not the first, but I can't wait for us as a country to get back to a place where instead of arguing who is worse, we can start arguing which choice is better.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think you could look at the last election with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, that we tried to pick the worst of two evils. And to some degree, we're going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Actually, not to some degree. We are going to do it again.
Right.
I would love to see us as a country get back to a place where we can argue about which one is better instead of arguing about which one is less bad.
Yeah, last election, my vote was not really for Trump. It was against Hillary.
Yeah, we are no longer at the top of the ticket.
You deplorable you.
We're no longer voting for. We're voting against.
Right.
With a positive vote.
You deplorable.
So, well, in the problem is, or one of the problems are,
I am deplorable.
Yeah. One of the problems are.
It took me a minute.
Did you Google that?
No, I just had to hear it. You know,
it became evident to me when we were starting to get some negative feedback from our latest video on our Facebook post. That
not us, but baseball in general. Let's be
correct.
clear on that. It wasn't us.
True, but
people love us.
Those guys, exactly. I don't know. Those guys probably didn't even watch the video, but they just saw the title and said, "Nope, I'm not watching baseball because this, that, the other thing." And that, and I started thinking, I was going to reply. I was like, "Well, maybe I'll just say, well, that's great. I'm glad you made your choice. We choose to watch baseball because we see beyond that one flaw." And that's what hit me. I'm like, this is where we've come as a society where everything is black or white or right or wrong or left or right. We can't have something in our lives and say, I don't like this thing about it, but it's okay to have. Right? If there's an actor we don't like or an actor says something against our political beliefs or religious beliefs, well, I'm never going to go see another one of his movies. Okay.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is like as a society, we've quit leading with love.
Yes.
Like as a society, we as individuals have quit leading with love. And instead what happens is as short as a day is long, the four of us probably have four different opinions on a number of subjects that we were to bring up. Okay. But in the end, we probably bite our tongues in an effort to have unity among us because we're friends.
Right. Well, we see beyond that. We say that.
I don't know. I've already been criticized pretty hard for buying an 82-inch TV instead of 85.
$500. I mean, if you would just
listen, I'm gonna watch Tom Brady on that thing on opening day either way. So
exactly,
I'm not gonna be pissed at you. I'm just saying.
That's my point.
Well, this would be better on that 85, So,
well,
I'll hear the mumblings in the background. I know I'm going to hear it. So
we kind of lost sight of what what people are. Like people are a person. You can have differences of opinion, and nobody's opinion on everything is always right.
Right,
and
it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be. But you got this whole cancel culture thing going on right now. And with this Facebook and what's this other thing, Twitter and all that. You say one thing. I don't care if you've done 50 billion good things in a row for the past 55 years. You say one thing, even if it's taken out of context, people just want to throw you under the bus because then the focus isn't on them, right? Yeah. Well, they can hide by killing you. They can hide themselves.
The cancel culture vampires come after you.
Yes, Maddie. I think to your point, the bigger problem that we have is it doesn't require a response. Not everything requires a response.
Right.
If you don't like the position or the opinion or whatever that somebody else has, shut your mouth.
Right.
Right. Your mom told you sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Like,
but you're seeing now where people are, the cancel culture is reaching out to someone and saying, hey, you haven't said, or you haven't given your response about this incident that happened, whenever, last week, whatever. When are you going to come out and denounce this action?
Right. Silence is endorsement now, right?
Right. That's what there's. So if you don't, then we're going to call your sponsors, we're going to call your advertisers, and we're going to boycott them until you say something.
I think it takes a special kind. I think it takes a special kind of idiot to have an argument over a social media platform.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
oh yeah.
Listen, if you're argumentative by nature, pick up the phone and have it that way.
Right.
Or say, hey, do you want to get together and, have a burger or a milkshake?
Countless times every day, I have thoughts, speech bubbles that happen when I'm reading some of these social media posts. And I'm like, I just want to go after these people, but I just back off and this isn't the place. This is not the arena.
You know that saying, agree to disagree? You can't say that anymore, because if you can't agree to disagree and still be cordial, one of you has to pay with your life or with your job or with your livelihood, with everything. And everything else be damned. And it's just sad. Right. I mean, there's no way that what's that? A nation divided against itself can't stand, right?
Correct.
And this is what
we stand divided we fall. That's in our it's in the saying slogan. And we saw it this week also with the A's coach who was trying to do we've got this new standard where we can no longer have hand-to-hand contact, right? So you've got to do a fist bump or an elbow bump, and he was going to do it as the A's were coming back from a victory into the dugout. He was going to do some sort of maneuver with his elbow, but it started off with what looked like the Heil Hitler Nazi salute.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
And he did it a few times.
He did it once, and then he giggled, and then somebody grabbed his arm and pointed out, hey, it looks like you're doing that. And he's like, oh, crap. Well, I probably shouldn't do that. And here we are. Now he's having to come out and apologize. He's having to fall on the sword and oh, my God, please don't, cancel the A's. Don't, MLB, don't kick the A's out of baseball.
Right.
Wow.
And like he said, this is the reason I did it. This was not my intention. It wasn't even my thought. So why isn't that good enough?
That, though. The point is, you should be smart enough to know that's not what he was doing. He was not at a KKK rally or a neo-Nazi rally doing that. He was on the baseball field with 1 million cameras around.
Right. But that's common sense, and common sense ain't so common.
And if he was that much of a white supremacist or a white nationalist or whatever he is, coaching a team, well, he's not the head coach, but he was a third base coach, as a leader on a team full of minorities, right? This is a very diverse sport. Baseball is.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me he hasn't been found out until just that moment? He's been a closet racist this entire time, letting those guys hit, letting those guys field when he clearly is trying to string them from a tree or something. It's
but this is the part that goes makes it worse, is that he comes out and he says, my mistake, it wasn't intentional, that was not what I was saying. And people say that's not good enough. You still have to pay. You still have to pay with your job. You still have to pay with your livelihood. Somebody needs to do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of it. People make mistakes. Anybody who says that, if you go back enough in their past, or you watch, if they're on YouTube or social media long enough, or you want to dissect their life, you will find something from every one of us. It doesn't matter. Right. We all screw up, or we all do stupid things, or our views change. But there's a word forgiveness, and it's just not there anymore. And not that this guy even needs to be forgiven. It's just a misunderstanding that people are seeing something that he wasn't trying to do in what he did. So he says, wasn't my intention. I apologize. Everything's good. But that's not good enough for a lot of people. You have to pay with your job or with your livelihood. Mm-hmm. It has to go to an extreme. That's a shame, unfortunately. But so, this is, and then I'm hopeful that this is what happens. We get so far, the pendulum swings, right? So I'm hopeful that it gets so far to one side, and then finally enough people go, or enough people get bitten by it, that they say, you know what, this is just stupid, and maybe it'll start to swing.
I thought we were there 10 months ago, but it seems it has gone further. I mean, it's just gone further. Aunt Jemima's off the box. Uncle Ben. What did Uncle Ben do to anybody?
I don't know. Right? And what's funny? The people, not funny. That's not the word. What's
good rice.
is the Aunt Jemima people, the family of the woman who was the Aunt Jemima, the original or whatever. They were upset that they were doing this because they said that wasn't the whole point of this whole thing. It was a source of pride for the family, but cancel culture kicked in and everybody runs scared. Nobody will stand up.
I just don't get it. It is beyond me.
All right, I got a couple jokes for us about politics.
Yes,
we got to get out of this.
No wonder this guy's been silent for so long.
Oh, it's just killing me over here, man.
Hey, I gotta. Next week I have a request.
Yeah.
Request. How do you say that?
Wow.
I have a request, Chief.
Yeah.
Next week I want you to do some research on some jokes about the NBA.
Wow.
Oh, you're trying to kill him?
It's gonna take me all week just to stay awake to get through it.
The guy's already suffering from narcolepsy as it is. We're gonna stop his job.
All right, here we go. Here's the first one is food for thought. Okay, first one is food for thought, and the question is, why do Americans choose from just 2 people to run for president and 50 for Miss America?
That's funny, and I don't even know the reason yet.
Well, I'm guessing because there's 50 representatives from each state, one from each state.
Don't try to add any logic to it, man. It's because nobody wants to watch 2 old guys on stage, but they're going to watch 50 hot women out there, man. So all right, so. Okay. How many senior presidential aides does it take to change a light bulb?
Senior presidential aides.
Yep,
none.
Change a light bulb.
They get the staff to do it.
Now your answer is correct, but for the wrong reasons.
Oh.
None, because they're supposed to keep the president in the dark.
Wow,
that was a bad one.
All right, well, this one here you guys may not get. You got to be history buffs in order to get this one. So let's go. Which one of Washington's officers had the best sense of humor?
Washington's officers,
like as in General Washington.
Yeah, General Washington. Yeah. You know, I mean, he had like Benedict Arnold and Alexander Hamilton was one of his officers out there. So which one had the best sense of humor?
I'm not going with Benedict.
The Raffer in Chief? I don't know.
No, you're close. Lafayette.
Lafayette.
These are not. This is not your best work.
No. I was on the spot. I was working in a hurry there.
Next week, when you Google NBA jokes,
if you can't do better than this, we're going to
Google's going to respond to you, Mr. Bassett. Your computer's been hacked.
Yeah.
I've been stolen. I'm alerting the police.
We've lost our only viewer to these jokes. Great.
Listen, you know something? I'm still thinking about cake.
You know, I can tell you, I have carrot cake in the other room.
So here's the thing, like, I gotta, the chief said he's got to start a diet tomorrow. I got to get back on something too, and I kind of have a hard stop at 8:00 for, being able to eat anything else today. So, like, what should I eat in the next 7 minutes?
Caramel ice cream.
Like, if I eat some ice cream in front of y'all, are you going to be, like...
No, go for it. You got an ice cream sandwich, or are you going to, like, a whole bowl, or what?
Oh,
what are you doing?
Dude, I love ice cream sandwiches.
Look, you can't just eat on the show. I mean, if we did a segment, where somebody was, like, cooking cheeseburgers and, like, doing, like, an instructional video of it, and then we all had to sample them, then you can eat on the show. Or if somebody was, like, hand churning ice cream and they're like, hey, this is how you make the world's greatest ice cream, then we could eat on the show. All
right, so wait a minute. So you're telling me that if a hot
ice cream
Babe's Pizza got delivered to your door right now?
Look, there's always an exception to the rule. Okay.
Apparently that exception happened the other night, huh?
I did correct.
I was going to say, did you want to announce your correction?
I did correct a mistake 16 years in the making, and that said we had Babe's Pizza on Wednesday night. We were supposed to do it Thursday, but anyway, we did it on Wednesday night. And first of all, listen, I got to say a couple of things. Number one, I myself was slightly disappointed, man. Babe's has been bought by somebody. They said they were not going to change the recipe or anything else. So I opened up this box. I think it was a little smaller than what I remember it being. Okay. Number two, a Babe's pizza takes a long time to make. I mean, you order it and they tell you like 45 minutes and it'll be ready. This thing they told me was going to be ready in 25 minutes. And I said, I don't think so. I think you're taking a shortcut here somewhere.
You got somebody's mistake pizza.
Yeah. So no, I don't think so because you know what? Look,
They're
man,
changing the formula.
This kid is not really my kid. I don't really know where he came from, man, but he wants mushrooms on his pizza. And I was like, oh, dude, I know. So we did get half a cheese pizza and half a mushroom pizza. I like cheese pizza. That's really my favorite pizza.
Just cheese, huh?
No meat?
Just peas, just cheese.
I
mean, I am a fan of meats. I'm a fan of pepperoni and sausage and hamburgers. I'm a fan of all that stuff,
Just the cheese.
But I do like just cheese. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, so we do get it, and it pretty much does taste the same, but you can tell like the toppings were a little bit on the light side, and the crust just wasn't cooked completely. It was like 95%. And so I don't know, maybe I just got him on a bad day. They were pushing things through, but anyway, I did get his official review was this is better than average pizza.
That's the comment.
That was the comment. Better than average, not amazing, and da da da. So,
I mean, better than average isn't bad.
No, but it's not
average. It wasn't above average. It was just it's better than average. So it's somewhere between. I would say that was like a 4-star pizza.
You say 4-star?
Yeah, like 5 stars would have been. This is an above average pizza.
Well, it wasn't their best pizza ever.
3 was average, right? And so since he came out and said it's a better than average, we're going to go that's a 4. He gave it 4 stars.
All right.
I'm interpreting.
So I really felt like, there was enough buildup for this pizza that he should have, like when he opened up the box, it should have like glowed almost, and it didn't even do that for me. And I haven't had one since Flag Day.
Well, if you remember when we had the pizza on Flag Day, I had the pizza from Babe's Pizza a week before, I think, when my in-laws were here. And I told you guys, I said it wasn't traditional Babe's Pizza. Something happened, but then it was delivered. We got that one, and it was like, all your sins are forgiven because this is fantastic.
Right.
So maybe it's a weekday thing. Maybe weekends there's a different crew. Maybe they've got the old crew working on weekends.
Right. A team's on the weekends. B team is on the.
I don't know, but if you're gonna have a legendary reputation,
that's how the Wing House rolls too.
So if you're gonna have a legendary reputation like Babe's does, you better be consistent.
Listen, something monumental though happened this weekend.
All right.
Our cutouts made their season debut.
Yes.
I did see that.
Our cutouts made
live TV
debut on live TV.
We are famous.
Hey, I do have a bone to pick about that too, by the way, because I couldn't tell when we originally saw them. It was in the background and but when they were on full screen, my bandana didn't make the cut.
Your bandana didn't?
I had the bandana on my head. I took all my pictures but one with a bandana on my head. The yellow bandana. That's the one that got submitted without the bandana.
I think that was on Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying to make them as general.
Here we go.
Listen, you know what?
I didn't want any rejections.
You know what's interesting to me?
After the dog that was submitted next to
so many dogs. So many. By the way, the person standing right behind me is holding
a dog. Yes, we're in the dog section.
And you get a dog
we're in the pet friendly section.
There's a dog next to you.
Yeah,
I know there's a dog behind me and a dog next to me. Yeah. I would never let that happen in real life.
You're not a dog lover?
I don't make this into I don't like pets or animals. Okay, we're gonna start getting hate mail delivered.
I don't want that to happen.
I can't watch you guys because that Be-Love guy is not an animal activist. I'm just saying, like they tend to stink a little bit.
Animals?
Yes, in general, yes.
A little bit, a lot of it.
Yes.
They're not.
Although I will tolerate them, I would not want multiple dogs around me.
Have you been over here
for a 9-inning game?
You ever smelled our donkey?
Look, I got no problems with Luna. Dude, have you guys
I'll have
seen
Luna on the show one day?
the home runs that Aaron Judge is hitting?
He is mashing.
He almost had one to win
today.
on Friday night.
No, thank goodness he didn't hit any today. But man, he is hitting the ball very far.
No,
dude. But of course, Brasso went upper decker. That was a long blast.
Yeah.
See, this is what I got. You got Aaron Judge. So you take a combo of this was I think what my wife was thinking. You take a combo of Aaron Judge, right, who can hit the ball like crazy, Kevin Kiermaier's eyes, and what's his name? G-Man Choi's name, and you got the perfect baseball player.
Yeah.
Because she says, well, G-Man Choi is just a cool name, right? I mean, who's going to argue with that? That's just a cool name. And then she says Kevin Kiermaier was on the TV yesterday. We were watching it, and she's like, "Ooh, look at his eyes. He's a good-looking guy." I said, "Oh boy!" And of course, Aaron Judge is out there smacking home runs all over the place, except for today.
I get that a lot.
Which part?
Kiermaier's eyes. What'd you say?
Like, look at B Love. He's on TV.
Yeah, no, that's literally never happened.
Never, not once.
Listen, okay.
But who's got the coolest name in baseball? The coolest name, I think G-Man Choi is right up there.
Ichiro.
Well, no, that's not.
He's out of baseball now.
Cafe Bustelo. You know, these comments going on here, I'm beginning to wonder what the heck.
That's somebody trolling. That's somebody trolling.
They see me trolling.
All right. So
moving on, something else. Go ahead.
So what about this explosion in Beirut this week?
You mean the firework accident?
I didn't see any fireworks coming out of that building, by the way.
You did if you watched beforehand, before the big bang.
Was there like fireworks shooting off?
No, there was a primary explosion, then the secondary that was felt and catastrophic.
What do you guys know about ammonium nitrate? Because I actually know quite a bit about this stuff.
I happen to know quite a bit as well because my work at a phosphate plant necessitated that I know quite a bit about it, not only its inner workings and how to stay away from it.
I do know it'll grow your grass or grow your.
It does a great job of plant growth.
Yeah,
I know it was the mixture of choice for what's his name, the Oklahoma bomber,
Timothy McVeigh.
Timothy McVeigh. But he only used 2 tons of it. And this was like 2,800 tons.
He used 200 pounds.
I saw 2 tons.
This
because he had it in the back of the rider.
This was 2,750 tons.
Yeah,
I don't think 200 pounds would bring that, because he had that whole rider truck full of it or whatever.
I think he had some ball bearings and stuff in there too.
So, okay,
it was a big bang.
Even if he used 2 tons, okay, if Tim McVeigh used 2 tons, these guys had 2,700 tons. That is a fraction of what the Port of Tampa has with ammonium nitrate. I have been to 3 separate fires involving ammonium nitrate at the Port of Tampa. Okay, and really? I'm gonna tell you that the pucker factor on that is for real.
You wouldn't if it went off, you wouldn't know it.
I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know it. You guys may not know it if it went off, man. I mean, this thing,
maybe
there is so much of that stuff at the Port of Tampa is unbelievable.
But I'm guessing they keep it in a safer manner than they did in Beirut.
Dude, I don't know. Every one of these guys tells you how stable that stuff is. So I posed this question to the guy. So here's they call them silos, and they're really like large buildings, is what they are. Okay, like the size of 4 or 5 football fields, and they load them from a conveyor that takes it up the conveyor, and then it spills it into the pile inside. Okay, so one of the questions I had for them was that grain. If you take grain, like wheat, and I mean, you can stomp on it. You can take a lighter to it. Nothing happens to grain, right? Grain dust, however, is extremely volatile, and it has created a ton of silo explosions, taking out all kinds of people across the country.
That's why you won't find them near a home in the Midwest when they have silos. Right. They're far away from the home because of that purpose.
Yeah. So my question was, tell me about. Because the ammonium nitrate, it comes in a bag. You can go to the your hardware store or whatever and buy it. Spread it in your yard. You can smash it in your hands and nothing happens. You can even take a lighter to it and nothing happens. But ammonium nitrate dust. I said, tell me about that. Nobody can tell me about ammonium nitrate dust. Nobody can tell me how volatile that stuff is. They just don't know. The thing, the catalyst that kicks this stuff off is you got to mix it with some sort of hydrocarbon, like diesel fuel, like Timothy McVeigh did. Probably don't want to give the recipe out there, but I think it's out. Yeah, so like this one time we go. This is one of the 3 fires I go to. Is they're using a massive front end loader like the one that Matt had, only bigger. And the one I was driving out there on your place. This thing's like 5 times the size of it. Well, it has sprung a hydraulic leak, which is a hydrocarbon, and now it's on fire inside the pile of ammonium nitrate. So there's ammonium nitrate mixing with hydrocarbons, and the doggone front end loaders on fire. The people that work there, I'm telling you, it is nothing but assholes and elbows going the other direction. we're going in. Hope so. I'm like, they know. If these guys are the guys that are the experts with this stuff, if they are running the other direction, what in the world are we doing going that direction?
Right.
Yeah. What do they expect you to do? Let it burn out?
Put the fire out. No, so actually, I was on that particular fire. I was a second in. My buddy Dave was the first guy in, and they had pulled lines and they were making an attack on it. And I said, "Well, I'm not going to let him do it by himself. Let's do it, man." I mean, right now we're in it to win it. You know what I mean? I mean,
is water the tool to use, or is it you got to use something else?
No, water works just fine. Yeah, because really, we're not putting out ammonium nitrate's not on fire. We're putting out the
front end loader.
The front end loader that's on fire.
But if the fire gets to the ammonium nitrate, boom.
Oh, it was in it. I mean, this thing died like picking up a scoop. And it went in, tried to pick up a big scoop and sprung a leak and then caught fire. So it was in it.
Well, did you guys see some of the videos of that explosion?
Oh, man. The before and the after.
Did you see the wedding dress?
Yes.
I found that amazing.
I did too.
Wedding dress is here. Explosion is over here, and the dress gets sucked to the explosion.
Yeah,
before it comes back the other way. I said, "Wow!"
And I don't know how far away they were, but it's not like they were right next door to that thing. So to have that much of a change of air pressure, I mean, wow! And you saw some of those videos from the apartments that were way high up, looking down at it.
Yeah,
and that condensate cloud or condensation cloud or whatever that developed that. I mean, that was just
well. There were press buildings nearby. I know the Wall Street Journal had an office not far from what's now a crater, and there's a journalist that lived a few blocks away. He actually shared his experience on video from his apartment that was destroyed from this blast, which was not close. He said it was within I think 2 kilometers. Anyway, so he left his apartment and went to his office to see even more devastation. It was impossible to believe. I mean, it was crazy.
Well, and then here's the part of that too is that from what I understand, that was stored since 2014 or something, right? It came from some Russian ship or something.
Yeah, I read that it had been since 2013, where the tanker that it got seized from, the crew was held in port on that ship until sometime in 2015.
Yeah, it was been there for maybe 7 years. I think they said something like that.
Yeah, but nobody decided to think, this may be not a good idea to store it just like this, without any safeguards or whatever else.
The same information I got. They're like, "Oh, this stuff's it's fine, it's safe, totally safe." Hey, there was a hardware store in West Texas, which is out like a suburb of Austin. That had that's where I'm getting my 200 pounds from. They had 200 pounds at their store, and this is just like 3 or 4 years ago, and that thing blew up. And it took out. It was kind of a small town. Took out like a city block with that. But it wasn't a city block like Lebanon, but it was a one-story old school town. This stuff is just mess with it, and we have a lot of it here in Tampa.
I was going to say it's crazy to me that, like you just said, 200 pounds blew up a city block.
Yeah.
Why would you let anybody have 200 pounds of it anywhere?
Well, it's useful. It's a useful material. It's like anything else. It's like dynamite. Why would you have dynamite? Well, it's because it's useful. It's just in the wrong application, it can do bad things.
It's 2,700 tons is a lot,
and it's a drop.
But
what we have.
the crater that it left, those satellite images or the high-rise images from before and after are just
it's just what's the death toll up to? Does anybody know?
Over 100.
It was over 100.
I knew it was
last I
100
heard.
and something. That's sad.
But
Yeah,
there's
it really is.
of it in West Texas. 2013, by the way, is when this thing went up in West Texas, and what a blow that made. So
wow, unfortunate. Well, I guess if you got to put a positive spin on it somewhere, you just say at least it wasn't. Doesn't look like it was terrorism,
Yeah. Well.
That's the positive spin. You are stretching.
I mean, dude, I don't know if we know that yet, but I mean,
Well, you were talking about the video of the bride that was having her video session. In that video, after that primary explosion, someone close enough to the microphone, I heard say Allah Akbar, and I was like, oh my God. I can't believe I just heard that. And then the secondary explosion happened, and I was like, okay. I think he was just, kind of praying to himself out loud. I think that's kind of the whole, it's God is great, I believe is what they say. God is good. So I think it was just more of a audible prayer by that individual. It just so happens that that's a famous thing the terrorists tend to say before they blow themselves up.
I think people say the same thing here. Someone would say, "Oh, dear God."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But you're so used to hearing it here that this is what Muhammad Atta said before he flew the plane into the building, and this is what
right.
All these bomb strapped people that strap themselves with a bomb say prior to it. So it's just kind of a shock to hear that, especially with their dialect. It's very authentic, so you hear it, you're like, oh boy.
I mean, that region, where that country is going through a difficult time as it is.
Yeah, they're close to
close to total collapse already. I had, just kind of writing some notes to come onto this show. I had seen that like their currency has lost 80% of its value since October.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's they're obviously fighting, inflation to some degree. But it was totally crazy too. I didn't know about this, but their highest offices, the way their constitution is it actually says the president is Christian. The prime minister is a Sunni Muslim, and the speaker of the parliament, or what would be the house here, a Shiite Muslim. And so in the constitution, it actually says that they have to be of those religions. Like, is that asking for trouble or what?
I mean, no one's going to get along. Yeah.
I don't know. It's different. I can't say I can relate or understand their society or the way they set things up versus us, because I don't live there. I've never been through their society. But sometimes when you look at the history of Beirut, it's got a long history of chaos over there, and you got to start figuring out why.
Yeah, it's part of that world.
Who wants anything to do with that, though?
No, I don't.
Who wants anything to do with that? So, yeah, I don't know. But,
hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yep.
Listen, we have problems here too.
Yeah.
We got problems here too.
So, but they're it's good. It's good to see again the world is coming together to help with what they need. Obviously there's a huge need for material goods and services in that specific region of this country. So there's people stepping up and helping,
and the good thing is that I think when a natural disaster happens like this, or most of this wasn't natural, obviously, but when a disaster like this happens anywhere in the country or in the world, it's always great that you see people from all over the world come together to provide aid. It just proves we can be nice to each other.
Yes.
Right. We can show love. We can have unity. For whatever reason, it's become more part of our nature to not. We come together. Well, I was about to say we come together in crisis, but clearly that's not what we're doing here in America.
Because it's more fun. Well, some people find it to be more fun to have the conflict. They're miserable. Misery loves company. They're already miserable about some other aspect in their life.
Well, it's really hot over there.
Well, and I'm not just talking about Libyans. I'm talking about people across the world, period. especially Americans. Americans are horrible at this. If you're miserable in your situation, whatever it is, you want to project that onto someone else. And so you engage in activities that do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you couple that with the anonymity that social media gives you,
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a free for all.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like when there's mass suffering of humans from whatever cause, that's what brings people together. So
Right, it does.
Yeah.
9/11.
Well, Pooh Bear, can we talk about something fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk hockey playoffs.
Hockey playoffs. The Lightning are the number 2 seed. That is our favorite team here at the Man Event.
God, please tell me we pulled the Columbus Blue Jackets.
No, they are. I think there's a game going on this afternoon or this evening to determine who will be the Lightning's opponent. I'm not sure what the bracket is.
I would love to have another. But shoot, what's the story with Hedman, by the way?
He left yesterday's game with an ankle. Well, they don't disclose. This is what I don't like this about hockey. They don't disclose.
They don't disclose injuries.
Like what are you going to do with that information?
You're going to hack the dude with a hockey stick on his ankle.
Then you're going to get a penalty. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense. I could see it years ago when you were game playing, but now in the age of video, we all saw him go down with what looked like a twisted ankle. It's either a high ankle. Exactly. It's either a high ankle sprain or he probably didn't roll his ankle because the skate is designed to prevent that. And I doubt he broke anything because he just, his blade caught the ice, so he just went down. More than likely, at worst it's a high ankle sprain, which can be a very long recovery process. Those are not pleasant. So if it's just if it's just a rolled ankle, cortisone and some tight socks, he's good.
Where are we at with Stamkos?
Bandage will take care of that.
Stamkos will not be back until at least this next round. Obviously, the Lightning's round robin is over.
So we've got to actually win a series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or win a game. How about if we just won a game in the playoffs?
Let's see if they have a schedule posted yet.
So I'm just
I think it was interesting while Pooh Bear, you're looking that up. I was watching a little bit of the game yesterday, and the game is being played in Ontario.
Toronto.
Right? Or Toronto, sorry. And it's in Canada. That's in Canada for
it's being played in America's hat.
So, but the rink, all of the advertisements around the rink are USF Bulls.
Right.
Tico.
So it's interesting you notice that. So what happens is there actually is a home team for those round robin games. There actually is a designated home team. Yesterday it was the Tampa Bay Lightning for that game. So they did bring out some of the local sponsors for the Emily Arena. Those sponsors paid good money to have their sign posted along the rink. So they bring them in. So 2 nights ago when they were playing, or 3 nights ago when they were playing the Washington Capitals, the Capitals were the home team, and they brought in all the Capitals signage to post around there. If you look, some of it is permanent, like it can't be changed, or I'm guess sure it can be changed, but it's there because that company paid the Toronto Arena for that spot.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, so the Lightning can bring in their own. But yeah, you're right. There was the USF Bull Science Center. You had Tico was advertising there.
There was a couple of other Tampa local places, but
yeah,
I thought it was interesting. I'm watching the game and I'm going, wait a minute, I thought they were in the bubble.
Well, they are.
So they got to play either Toronto or Columbus, right? Because they lost yesterday, right?
They lost yesterday, which gives them the number 2 seed. So the Flyers are the number 1 seed.
Right. So the Flyers are number 1, but they're going to play either Toronto or Columbus, right?
I don't like how it's laid out, so I can't tell you. It's either going to be
the Maple Leafs or the Blue Jackets.
God, please be the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
Well, that's who they played last year.
I know.
Didn't turn out so well.
I want a chance at redemption.
No, that's what you want. It's revenge. You don't want redemption. You want revenge.
Man, I mean, last year we had the best record in hockey.
Yeah.
In all of hockey.
Yeah, we did.
We had the best record, and then we got swept by the lowest seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were also the hottest team coming into the playoffs.
Yeah. Well.
But we had also, it was the best record, tied for the best record in hockey history.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
63 wins, 62 wins, something like that.
Yeah. So
Great season last year.
unfortunately, we're going to roll into the playoffs not very healthy with some pretty. Those are some pretty big names.
Yeah, Stamkos and Victor Hedman being down. That's not great. But on the plus side, they played sloppy yesterday. I watched the entire game. Braden Point, who has been having phenomenal camp in the first 2 games, he was fast as all get out and just playing well. He was not playing well last night or yesterday afternoon. So, and they had some good looks, and they had a great goaltender with Philly. I mean, they're not a bad team. That's how they got the number 1 seed. They're a very good team. So, in a 7-game series, I'd still take the Lightning. I think that's a good way to roll with that, especially if Hedman and Stamkos come back. But I don't think, to me, the Lightning they play better, at least they have lately, without Stamkos because they know they can't lean on him. Stamkos is such a dynamic player, and the team, I think, at times can feel as if they can lean on him and rely. Hey, he's going to be in that right circle waiting for the one-timer. We're good, right? We can skate around and just wait for him to score. When he's not there, you got to make something happen.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's the way they play when he's not there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they need a stimulus going into the playoffs.
Oh boy!
Oh my gosh! Segue. I was going to segue into Tiger Woods at the PGA Championship.
Oh my gosh, man! What is happening? How the mighty have fallen.
Hey, you know what though? If you're going to show up, once every 2 months to play, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but Chief, he's playing golf. He's just not playing it.
It's not tournament golf. You want to be in the look. How many times in the playoffs do you see the like in football? The team that had the bye, they lose. They lose that rhythm. They lose that rhythm. They lose that competitive edge. Tiger is not playing in tournaments. If he wants to get back to where he was, he needs to do what he was doing before, which is play golf and playing tournaments instead of just showing up for the PGA Championship and just showing up for the Masters.
I think that a lot of that strategy is because of all the injuries.
Well,
the guy is injury riddled.
Well, his back. He's having to use a longer putter to practice because of his back.
Yeah, I mean, can't bend over his car.
You can't even bend over to putt.
But he won his last major after his last back surgery.
He won it last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think he finished 1 under, I think today. So or 1 under.
Did they finish already? Do we know who won?
No, the leader didn't tee off until like 450 or something.
Yeah.
So they're probably still going.
Dude, they had I was looking at it a little bit, and they were they had 6 people tied for first place after they had the leaders had played 4 or 5 holes. Yeah.
Wow, that makes for an exciting. I might finish that up here, but I think too, like if you looked at his scorecard for those 4 rounds, he gets enough birdies to be in contention. Too many bogeys.
Yeah.
He'll have a round with 4 or 5 birdies, but it also has 3 bogeys on it.
No, he takes chances. He pushes it.
Well, that's the difference.
But you don't need to. If you're going to get 4 or 5 birdies in a round, just play par golf for the other 14 or 13 holes. If he'd have done that on the first day, he would have been among the leaders on the first day. So I don't think it's about pushing it. I could be wrong, but I think on the first round he didn't find a fairway for 10 holes.
He's never found a fairway his whole career. He finds as many as I do.
Yeah.
So
he's made a lot of his noise with these ridiculous shots that bail him out.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think the leaderboard or the lead is at 13 under. He finished at 1 under.
So his first round on Thursday, he had 5 birdies. So if he
inside information.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's playing. He would have been 5 under, which would have made him the leader. By the way, at 5 under, going into Friday, but because he had 3 bogeys on top of it, he's at 2 under.
Yeah.
And his whole tournament was that way. On the second day, the second day was worse. He had 4 bogeys and 2 birdies. So like he's got to quit. He's got to get back to at least par golf. The problem is the bogeys.
Before he can get serious.
On Saturday, he had 2 birdies and 4 bogeys, and he bogeyed 3 holes in a row, 10, 11, and 12. Tournament over after 12. You know? And I didn't really look at his,
how old is
his
he
round
now?
today. He's my age. He's 44. He might be a little bit older, or I might be 1 year older than him. But I don't know. I look back and I think, and I've probably said it on this show before, I question during his heyday. Remember how buff he was?
Yeah.
Like he made being an athlete for golf a thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because he was in very high level of fitness.
Right.
I'm not so sure he wasn't using PEDs.
Oh, just, yeah, that's
way.
You know,
he wasn't using them. Are you kidding me? He was definitely using them.
No.
How
I'm
did
just
you think
saying,
he
like,
got so broken down?
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
That's the point I'm making, or the argument I'm making is the PEDs is what broke his body down.
We see it time and time again. All the guys in baseball that were known for taking PEDs, their entire bodies are just, that's what made them leave the game.
I don't think he was. I think it was just, he swung at 500 miles an hour, and it just took a toll on him after a while. But
remember, it was kind of like the Barry Bonds situation where he was already a great player coming in. I think at some point, maybe it was all those the rivalries he had with like Duvall. Remember when David Duvall was coming in all bulked up and stuff?
His glasses, with his awesome sunglasses.
Yeah, and
with
then
all his Oakleys.
Yeah.
right, and that's when you kind of saw Tiger started taking weight training a little more seriously. Maybe that's what hey, I'm taking this serious. Maybe I need a little extra help. Got to get past this other guy. Then he had old fluffy Mickelson come in.
Drove him for a little while, yeah.
But that there wasn't a whole lot of muscular competition there.
Man, did you see the video this week of Phil Mickelson making a cup of coffee?
No.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how I came across it. I think I came across it on Twitter. So he was making this guy put more supplements in a cup of coffee than any of you have ever taken in one day.
Really?
It was the craziest thing. Go after the show, go up and look up Phil Mickelson drinking coffee. But it's a whole regimen. He puts all of this different stuff in it, and he goes through and explains why he's putting each of these things in his coffee. So he put essentially, like during the video, he pours it all in a cup, and then he pours in the coffee, mixes it up, and I think he might have added a little bit of creamer to it, which should at that point it probably tasted like vitamins. He better put a lot of creamer in it.
Right. Right.
It was crazy the stuff that he was putting in it. I bet he put 5 or 6 different ingredients in his coffee.
Well, when you go back, you look at Phil Mickelson, and then you look at like John Daly, and then you look at Tiger Woods, right? Like you were saying earlier, he was the one who brought fitness into golf and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know what his club head speed was or even is, but that guy swung the club hard. I mean, he could drive it far, but he's always been, I mean, he's twisting his back like a pretzel since he was on Johnny Carson.
That's true.
When he was 4 years old or whatever it was. I think he was on Carson. I think it was Carson.
That's true. And in the golf swing is such an unnatural motion that,
right.
There's a potential that, yeah, you're right. Maybe we could be totally off base. Maybe there was no PEDs involved whatsoever, and this is just a natural breakdown of his spinal.
I've seen I've seen you play golf. I think your swing is very natural motion.
Mine, my soccer foot wedge, that one,
hand wedge.
Oh, jeez.
Either way, but I think he shot 1 under. I think is what he shot today.
Yeah, he shot 1 under. Tiger was 1 under for the whole tournament.
Yeah,
but he had to shoot. I think he shot 2 or 3 under today to get to that.
Right.
But again, like going back, my argument is if he end with the bogeys, he'd be in the running today.
But
sure.
look at compare this to like pitchers in baseball, right? It's a lot of this has to be a head game. I mean, first off, if you're leading, say you're leading the Masters and you're going into Sunday and you got a 3-stroke lead and you're nervous as all get out. I don't care how much of a professional you are, it becomes a head game, right? So you look at Tiger Woods, and maybe this week he's having a bad week because mentally he's not there. It's just like pitchers in baseball, right? One week they can be brilliant, or one game, another game they're getting rocked for 3 runs in the first 2 innings. They have the ability, right? The physical ability is there, and for whatever reason they're having an off day. They're not in the zone or whatever else. Maybe he's having that this week. Maybe he's out of the zone. We'll see.
I don't know.
Guys, we're out of time, but I really wanted to get to the genius move that Trump made this week with the signing of these incentives. Maybe we can talk about that next week, because I really thought that was the move of the year for him politically.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for the unemployment benefits and all that?
Yeah. I mean, and he just throws it out there. He goes, "Hey, these things may or may not stick." He goes, "And if I don't get elected, I dare Joe Biden to go ahead and charge people, this money back." It was a little short.
I didn't read up a whole lot on it. I tried to a little bit, because I knew we would be talking about it a little bit today. But yeah, the unemployment benefit, I don't know. It's an extra $400 a week. I think there's some caveats to it. Like, part of the money has to come from the state, so you have to have been approved through it for the state to be able to get the federal side of it, being the additional $300. I just think, I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel like there are people out there who need it. I just worry about the long-term ramifications of continuing to provide stimulus. Like, at some point, is it the same as passing out participation trophies?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing.
That was the argument the states were making.
Yeah.
Oops.
Time to go.
Yeah.
We'll never repay, the trillions of dollars that we borrowed in this year alone, back in my lifetime. So, I mean, good luck, kids.
Exactly right.
That's kind of where we're at.
So
that's a sad legacy to leave. But we're not going to leave on that note.
Back on here.
Right? Yes.
All right, man. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Ho. See my whole hat now. Look at that.
You can see the whole hat.
Killing me here. But they're
Happy
very
38th birthday.
38 again.
All right, folks. Tune in next week. We'll be back here again at 7:30 Eastern Time, live on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll be back talking about whatever it is that happens this week, all the dynamic things that are going to take place. Can't wait to see what happens. Not really.
And if you haven't yet, go watch our latest short on that we did on baseball this past week. It's
absolutely, it's all right. It is short, 7 minutes long. It's our best short yet. It's getting some good traction on YouTube, but go ahead and watch that. Like and subscribe so you'll know when we post our next video. You'll be able to see that. And
join in the conversation, right? Put in some comments if you tune in. Put in some comments.
Unless you're Andre Animation, then just stay out of it. But whatever,
yeah, go away.
Go away. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you do, try not to suck. We'll see you next week.
There you go. Take care.